So this one time I thought it was a good idea to wear a see-through underwear. So I was in class and my skirt was very short. I was pushing back on the chair and I kept doing it cause I felt badass, but then I fell and hit my head and the whole class saw my pussy and proceeded to take pictures sneakily and laughed. I cried on my way home and lost all my friends. Until this day everyone calls me Pink Cupcake. Girl, what in the spicy spaghetti noodle? Once my teacher was pregnant and 2 months before her due date she went into labor in the middle of class, so we were all rushed into the hallway but they couldn't get her out of the classroom, so she ended up having her baby in the classroom, but since it was premature it was weak and they weren't at a hospital, so it died in the classroom and we all saw the dead tiny baby being carried out of the classroom, and my teacher was so sad her baby died that she quit her job, and a month later we went into lockdown because turns out she broke into the school with a knife and tried stabbing people cause she sorta went insane with the grief of her baby dying, and now she's in jail. Girl, what in the shitty tit flip switch? Hey y'all, I'm back. Here's a story that was submitted a few days ago. One time when my family and I were at the water park, me, my brother and my cousin were standing in line for one of the rides. Anyways, I ended up getting a really bad stomach ache while waiting in line. I farted and a bunch of shit flew out of my bathing suit and it was running down my leg, and the park ended up closing that ride for the rest of the day because my shit was all over the steps and the ride. Girl, that was probably very embarrassing. I would have killed myself and moved to Mars till the earth goes extinct.
I'm not going to show you the facts and the evidence because I'm 29 fucking years old. And I'm not going to sit down and make a video with screenshots exposing my bullies. These are bullies. These are high school fucking bullies. And they want to come at me and say, you're 29 years old, how you're acting? Fuck you. You're in your fucking 30s. Almost all of you attacking me. And I'm not saying a fucking word to anybody. And you're going to say I'm painting myself as a victim and I'm trying to ask for attention? I have not said a fucking word publicly until another video was made about me the week I was putting out my fucking EP. You want to ghost the internet for 5 fucking months? And then I'm promoting my project like crazy, and you're going to put my name in your fucking thumbnail, bringing up a fucking dramatic lie, a hate campaign that you fucking started. 5 months you don't post. But I'm posting a project and you have to say,
y'all, I swear if the dumb racist orange bitch bans TikTok, I'll throw a scooter at his ankle because we don't tolerate this. There's so many problems in the world and Mr. Orange wants to ban TikTok. I love all of y'all, but girl, what in the motherfucking poodle doodle shit is this? Gen Z will burn the earth if y'all mess with something a part of our daily routine, and we won't regret shit, so try us, Mr. Trumpet. Point blank period poo. In 10th grade during lunch, the mean popular girl started to walk up to me and my friends and grabbed my muffin and threw it in my face to impress the new kid. I went off on that dumb bitch because I wanted to eat the motherfucking muffin. I dragged that bitch across the lunchroom and we fought and I accidentally broke her nose. Haha, dumb bitch, that's what you get for wasting my fucking muffin, and I dated the new kid, so who's the bad bitch now? Brittany. Period. Sis, go off. Middle of my freshman year in high school, during my last period the teachers wouldn't let anyone leave their classes. It was like a shutdown and I wanted to text my mom cause she gets worried, so I asked the teacher if I could and the dumb bitch said no, so I did it anyways cause she doesn't own my phone. Hour later I got home and did the usual. Next day we found out a junior stabbed a office worker for not giving him ice. Girl, what the fuckity fuck, I hope he's in jail, but y'all better submit more stories, I'm running out. One day in class we had a substitute and everyone knew the substitute for being the rudest, and we had a test that same day. So when the substitute left the class for about 2 minutes, everyone started throwing paper and pencils everywhere. And once the substitute came back in class, someone stood on the desk and yelled, "We hate you," and threw a chair at the substitute. The kid got suspended for 2 weeks and no one has ever seen the substitute since. Chile. Anyways, thanks for the submission. Submit more stories, y'all. Hey y'all, I just made this account, so this is my first video. If you have any stories, please DM me them. Don't worry, I obviously won't say your username, you will stay anonymous.
One time when I was 14, I went on this camping trip with my grade. Me and my friends decided to sneak out of our cabin and go to the boys' cabin to hang out. Once we got there, my friend went to the bathroom with her crush and they were in there for a really long time, so me and my friend decided to go check on them, and once we got there we walked in and Heard noises coming from a stall. We opened the door and they were doing the nasty. It was so weird and hilarious, and now we always make fun of her for it. So one time I had this friend in school and he was a jackass, and we had a substitute teacher. He bet me $5 if I put thumbtacks in her coffee, you know, the old-fashioned substitute prank. So I did it, and then the sub walked in and drank her coffee, and we all hated that bitch. After she drank it, her throat was bleeding like hell. She went to the emergency room and they gave that bitch a prosthetic throat, and she died 2 months later, thank God, and we had a normal school again. So one time I had a sleepover with my cousin when we were like really little, like 6 and 7 years old. She told me she had a huge crush on this boy and asked me for some advice to impress him. And of course, like the cool big cousin I agreed to give her some advice. Step 1 was getting rid of bad breath, so I told her to get some mouthwash to freshen up her breath and practice for the next time she sees him. We went into her bathroom and she got like a whole cup of mouthwash and tried to swish it in her mouth, and before I could say, "Wait, that's too much," she started choking on the mouthwash and snorted it throughout her nose, and it literally came out of her nose. It sounds really bad, but it was hilarious at the time because we were both trying to get the mouthwash out of her throat and nose while laughing so hard that both of our faces were bright red. One time I was on a date with my crush. We went to the movies and everything was going great until I noticed my teacher and principal together. They were both married, so we were shocked. After the movie finished, they confronted us and told us to stay quiet about their affair. But I was smarter and decided to blackmail them in return for perfect grades. They actually gave me and my crush straight A's. At the end of the year I exposed them and they both ended up leaving the school. They got what they deserved and I got my perfect grades. One time in school we were learning math and I was bored because it's math, so I asked the teacher to go to the bathroom. On my way there was this cute guy who walked past me. I decided to be bold and talk to him. He was nice enough to walk me to the bathroom. I finished using the bathroom and walked out to find him leaning against the wall. I told him I would be fine walking to math class alone, but he insisted I go with him somewhere. I was confused and curious, so I went along with it. He took me to a janitor's closet, and when I asked why he took me here, he just looked down and whipped out his. One time when I was 14, I went on this camping trip with my grade. Me and my friends decided to sneak out of our cabin and go to the boys' cabin to hang out. Once we got there, my friend went to the bathroom with her crush and they were in there for a really long time, so me and my friend decided to go check on them, and once we got there we walked in and heard noises coming from a stall. We opened the door and they were doing the nasty. It was so weird and hilarious, and now we always make fun of her for it. So one time I had this friend in school and he was a jackass, and we had a substitute teacher. He bet me $5 if I put thumbtacks in her coffee, you know, the old-fashioned substitute prank. So I did it, and then the sub walked in and drank her coffee, and we all hated that bitch. After she drank it, her throat was bleeding like hell. She went to the emergency room and they gave that bitch a prosthetic throat, and she died 2 months later, thank God, and we had a normal school again.
One time I went to TJ Maxx to get a new bathing suit for a swim party I was having. When we first got there, I saw this bathing suit I really like, so I decided I wanted to try it on. But at the same time I didn't, but I still ended up trying it on, so I went into the dressing room and got undressed to try it on. I struggled to put the top on, but when I came to the bottoms I didn't struggle at all, so then I had them on for a few seconds, then I remembered, oh shoot, I am on my period. Then I took them off hoping that there wasn't blood on them, but turned out there was, so I took the sticker that was in the bathing suit and stuck the parts that had blood on it together and it wasn't noticeable, so I put the bathing suit on the rack, And after a whole lot of shopping there I started to leave the store and I seen the guy that puts up clothes put the bathing suit I tried on up and then he picked it back up and seen my blood on it woman face. Palming. One time I was in the bed with my sister and she started to touch my cock high. I was like 10 and then she took off my shirt. I went along with it so we started doing the nasty and then my mom came in and joined us.